Welcome in, everyone, to the Challenge After Show. Today, Pam and I are talking All-Stars Season 3, Episode 1 and 2, A Star is Born, and You've Been Sabotaged. Pretty sweet, Pamela. Pamela, overall thoughts on these amazing episodes that we just watched?
Overall thoughts are, this is the dream team. Like, this is so good because in the past 2 seasons, which were amazing, there was a solid chunk of people that I didn't remember or didn't know very well. So this, with the recency bias and with everybody actually having had to be in a challenge or
A
qualify
final.
for a challenge, a final, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
They're all really good. And almost everybody, but maybe one person, was very familiar to me. So it's
Right.
such a good show, but it's so much more fun when you're like really familiar with and feel for all of the players. So I loved every second of it. It's great. It's just so great. I'm so happy it exists. This is, again, what we want from the challenge. This is what we want.
Yep, familiar faces. The intros were amazing, of them coming out of their town cars or limos or whatever they put them in. They're all dressed to the nines. You have like the fun music when Veronica and Tina get out, and then it switches and you get that. I'm like, oh my God, we got dramatic music playing. And I said to myself, it's gotta be Wes. And then Wes comes out that door. Amazing. I just loved everything about both episodes, really. And I like that Wes, he's totally the villain that I'm rooting for, which I love, totally. Because there's so many people out there that are hating on Wes, but oh my God, he plays a great villain. He's going into that role. He wants to be the villain. He's not here to do Kumbaya BS. What does your dog think of the episode? Because
all right, Carter, come on up here.
Carter wants to talk.
I have to
clearly.
show him. I don't know if you can see because of the background. But
no, I can't see Carter. I see beautiful San Francisco, though.
Sorry, his little head is just sort of pure. Oh, there you go. Carter's an old boy. He's almost 14.
I know. So but Carter wants to be a part of it. Who doesn't want to be a part of this season, All-Star Season 3? The only thing that would make this better is if Bananas was on the cast. However, if you did watch the preview for the season, Bananas makes an appearance of some kind. I don't know how. They have these, I don't want to say they have mercenaries coming, but they have reinforcements, I think he calls them. So who knows what the hell that means or who they are, but maybe Bananas has something to do with that. I hope for sure he is here somehow in some way, shape or form, but whatever. That's a whole nother time we can talk about that.
I'm happy that he's not, just because we've got enough personality and villainy with Wes. And I feel like adding Bananas would just become the Wes and Banana show. And
okay, well then that's great. I think that's fine too. I mean, I'm fine with him not being there, but why the hell not? You have every other big hitter in this game show up, for at least for the guy side. So,
well, the way I'm seeing this structure that I love, actually, because it's real again, is personality wise and competition wise. We've got Wes, who's strong, but also plays a dirty game. And then we've got Yes, who is a champion, who's like, I have no time for someone that enjoys sabotage and taking being getting someone, kicking them while they're down, that enjoys that play. Like, part of it is it's a game, you've got to do these moves, but the other part is that's your interest. And I think they're almost diabolical,
well, some might say, Pamela, it's Wes versus Yes this season.
Some might say, but then you've got Jordan.
Oh yeah.
Starting after, there's Jordan, I think.
I just mean that, obviously Wes doesn't like Jordan either, but it's interesting because we can talk about it in a little bit, but Brad sticks up for Wes later on in episode 2, but we'll get into that. Let's do this.
Okay.
When you first see Wes on the screen, does you know what he said?
It's the Wes was something Wesy.
He goes, well. The exact same thing that he said on our after show when he came on. I think he's trying to make it his something that he does. He repeats a word 3 times and then starts his sentence. And so if anyone out there watching, we have a full interview with Wes on our YouTube and on our Patreon. If you want to check that out, it's literally our home video when you go to our YouTube page. So you can't really miss it, especially if you've never been there before. It's our opening video. So if you want to check out our interview with Wes, a lot of the stuff he says on that he actually filmed All Stars 3 before he came and talked with us. So he wasn't allowed to talk about All Stars 3, but a lot of stuff he talks about, Pam, are going to get into it. I think it's like kind of inspired by what he does on All Stars season 3. Just saying, we'll get to it in a little bit, and I can't wait to talk to you about it.
Okay. It's great to see him. The entrances were amazing. It was very Bachelor style. They take a limo up to the mansion. And
That's
they
great.
Enter. So
I
it was
love
very
it.
Bachelor style. I loved it. I loved Mark's black on black, like The Godfather. I actually thought it was cute.
Mark had an issue with his shoes, just as I did when I bought my new brown shoes. I forgot to take the tags off the bottom, and weeks later I was like, oh shit, my tags are still on here. So Mark ran into the same issue when he was lying on the bed, and everyone's like, you still got you must have just bought those, or production hooked you up with them, one of the two. Jordan and Nia, it looks like they're dating, right? They're together.
It looks, I mean, they're not saying, oh, we're dating or anything.
Right.
It could be friendly, but it definitely seems, I don't know what to say about that. There was a lot of speculation that they were dating during the shooting of this. They might be not categorizing anything as dating, but they're certainly friendly.
I'll say this, what a journey those two have been through, because I watched Portland. I was either in college or right after college when they were on that damn show. And oh my God, they had a rough ass relationship on that show.
Oh yeah.
And then obviously throughout the years, especially recently with the Black Lives Matter thing coming out during the pandemic and him apologizing. And we weren't even sure if he was ever going to be allowed back on the challenge because the stuff that came to surface, and everyone's getting canceled nowadays, blah, blah, blah. So, but I'm definitely happy to see him. I'm glad that he's back on. And I think All Stars 3 is a great place for him to come back to, instead of going back to a regular challenge where, everything's
absolutely
whatever.
So happy to see him. Obviously, he's my number one pick of the number ones, Jordan.
Okay. So you're rooting for Jordan this season?
I think Jordan is, after CT, the best at the best.
Okay.
The most
his record proves you correct for sure.
Yeah, I mean, CT is like next level, otherworldly, but I think Jordan would beat a Bananas, a Wes, or whatever in a fair competition almost any day. So anyway, that's a bold statement, but I think
Pam, I'm with you. I think that Jordan. I think Yes is up there, and I think Wes, just for his manipulation skills. As far as the guys go, I think those are your top 3 right there. But yeah.
So Jordan, Nia though, she was really off-putting on her season.
Oh, she sure was.
So it's great. I mean, that was 15 years ago, how many ever years ago. So
2015. Oh my God. Yeah. Like it's more than that.
People are allowed to change. My point is, I'm open to liking her. I didn't like her. Again, I haven't really spent time thinking about her in 15 plus years. So I remember being like, she wanted to write a book about how to be a trophy wife or something. Is that
okay? Yeah. Look, yeah, I don't know.
Something very, and people, if I'm getting this mistaken, don't kill me, but there was something I remember not liking her at all. And she seems great right now. This introduction to her, I'm like, she seems like a lovely person. So
I've never been a huge Nia fan either. I mean, I just, what she did in her season to Johnny, and God, who was Johnny dating? No, Johnny was
his girlfriend. I don't remember
the girl. She worked at Hooters. I don't remember what her name is.
I don't remember, but I remember her.
Avery.
I was gonna say I remember her her dog poop and stuff.
It was the whole that was on during the season of Portland. That Nia, what she was doing to them, it's like, just lay off. And then, but now that I'm such a huge fan of Jordan that I want to like Nia now. I want them to both have grown as humans, because we got to see Jordan grow a lot more than Nia. She kind of fell off. Like, she had a really bad last challenge that she was on. I forget which. She's something stupid and got either kicked off or she left, or I forget what happened. But it wasn't a great final showing for her. So I'm really hoping now that they're together. Maybe, and then I love that Jordan's rocking the cowboy hat. He doesn't care. He just does his own thing, and I'm all for it, man. Yeah.
I don't know what that is. And I know it's about Jordan, or Jordan's hair. Ugh.
I know.
So much more lighthearted and less angry than
well, it's only been 2 episodes, but I hope so. Yeah, I do. I think that, and especially even in episode 2, I believe, when Wes kisses his hand, It's just they're having fun with it. Like, we don't see this in the other show. It's so ridiculous how this show is just so much more fun. But Wes, to another level, he's like, I'm not going to play. This is not a reunion show for me. I'm not playing Kumbaya with all these people. Right. I'm going to be the villain. I'm going to swear. It's Paramount Plus. No F-bombs are being, I don't know if they're only allowed one F-bomb, but Wes had an F-bomb in the episode and during a confessional, and they let it go. They did not bleep it, and it's awesome because we're not used to hearing that on MTV. It's always bleep, 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 bleep. But to hear them say the F-bomb, I was thrown back, and then I was like, oh, wait, they always say these words. We just get to hear it now. So it's great.
Well, this is, again, not to beat a dead horse, because anyone listening to this and any fan of the show probably agrees and knows that we love the interpersonal drama. And when you fill a cast with 50 people that that don't know each other and we don't know, you're really lacking so much interpersonal. I love the way they came in pairs and threes from their season. So they're already establishing for us the pre-existing relationships. Like, we've been together since this. Like, Tina and Veronica were the best way to open it up. Mm-hmm. They are literally OGs. They're both great. We love them both. I think you agree. We love them both. And then it came in with Wes and Melinda and Nehemiah saying these are relationships. These are already existing things. And it was so great because if you forget, it clued you in. It's wonderful. And there's so much real history there. These people have been competing with each other for 20 years plus. Some of them, they know each other's strengths and weaknesses. They know each other, and that shows in their gameplay, and we know them, and it's like a reunion of the heart for us all to watch this. And because these people are pretty good, it's a real competition too. So we're really getting the best of everything we love about the show. So I couldn't be more excited. And
I'm glad you brought up the 50 cast members that they try to cast. They usually cast around 30 or 32, 24. I mean, for All Stars in general, it's always 24. It's so much easier to follow all these people. Plus, we already know them, so it's doubly easy. But 24 is the perfect amount. And I'll tell you why. You got 12 guys, 12 girls, and they were able to almost introduce every single one of them. A couple they didn't. They didn't talk about Jemmye, even though we know she'll get her confessionals, and we always know. They didn't really mention Brad at all until like the second episode we saw him. But besides that, everyone else got an intro. We got to get refreshed with who the hell they were. Everyone that watches All Stars 3 knows who. I'd say 20 out of the 24. You might not know Cynthia because she was on the first challenge ever and she won it. She was also on Real World Miami. Okay, great. Good for her. I didn't watch either of those things. Second, you had Ronnie Martin, who appeared on Road Rules Northern Trail. Missed that one. And then she also appeared on maybe a challenge or two. I don't remember. But besides that, we know everybody else. Let's be real here. Exactly. Like,
those were the two that I was like,
I know.
I might get my memory jogged, but yeah.
Yeah. And like you and I did a pre-show about that on our Patreon about like this season and all the cast members. I think those are the only two we really were like, who the hell are these people? But great to see them there, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what Ronnie does. I mean, Cynthia, spoiler alert, if anyone stop watching right now, Cynthia's already gone, so we can't really see what else she does.
Bye, Cynthia.
Let's get into this. I think that's everything I wanted to say on the opening stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else for you on the intros or anybody else? I think we're good.
No, that's it. Intros. I'm ready to get into it.
All right. So TJ we get down to the first challenge of the season. TJ's down there. He says that the top male and the top female will take home 500,000. I'm wondering, is that together or do they each get 500?
I think it's together.
Okay. So you're not saying it's not a million altogether. It's 500 that they split.
That they will be taking. Yeah, I think it's 250,000.
Okay.
The whole total prize, but I could be wrong because it does become an individual game. So the top male and top female, but the way it was.
I mean, whatever. I mean, people in the comment section, tell us what you think. But I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
He didn't say are each going to take home 5, but he said the top male and female will take home like collectively.
I think that's what. Yeah. Okay. So the first challenge is called Tunnel Vision. And I'll say this, they set up Tyler the whole time here because they're like, oh, he's got the best. He's so funny. I love Tyler. Kellyanne's telling how much she loves Tyler. I mean, this is what I've talked about, though, through the All-Stars. They do a great job setting up the episode, but they also kind of give it away on who's probably not going to make it much further. And they totally did with Tyler. They gave him his moment to shine. He got to show off Tundra like he did last season, his alter ego. So we got to see all this. We kind of know Tyler's the guy, but whatever.
Yeah.
But he had the best line. So, okay, so let's get over it. It's called Tunnel Vision. They basically have to go up to a couple holes in a wall, look through, get a puzzle, and go back. It's a great first challenge of the episode. It's basic. It's easy to follow, which I know you like and always appreciate, Pamela. So it wasn't like the most amazing challenge, but it was a nice way to start. And I'm glad we got to watch episode 2 because that challenge had old school vibes written all over it, and it was absolutely fantastic. But let's talk about Tunnel Vision. Go on. What did you think of it?
I have very little to say about it.
Okay.
To be honest, we can breeze over this one. Like, I liked it because I could follow it, but I don't have anything to say. It was good. Yeah. It was good first. It established. I mean, it was good. I liked it, but I don't have a lot.
It's nothing spectacular. But I will say this: like I said, give Tyler some more due here because he's going to be gone after this episode. He said his amazing line where all of the dudes are like pushing on each other, trying to like look through the hole. He's standing on the side, waiting his turn, as they said. And his line was, "I try to avoid pushing men out of my life," which was hilarious. So he waited his turn, then looked through the hole or whatever. Cyrus, apparently he's colorblind. He had a bunch of issues here. He ends up going straight into elimination on the guy side. And on the female side, it is Cynthia going straight into elimination. Those are the two. But we also find out here the winner. Okay, so the winner is Wes. Everyone's like, oh, Wes. Wes and Sylvia win. And they get to do something in the next challenge called the Sabotage. So we learn about the Sabotage for the first time at the end of this challenge. Do you like it? Do you think it's fun? What do you think? I'll let you go first and I'll jump in.
I love it. It's great. I think it's wonderful. I like when they have things like this because it forces your hand to show who you're gunning for, obviously. And it's effective. If there's someone that's always winning and you can take some time off for them, I think that can be major in certain situations.
I mean, we saw episode 2, so we kind of know how the sabotages went. Neither of them worked this time, but maybe in other episodes they will, because they sabotaged Kellyanne and they sabotaged Jordan, who Jordan mopped the floor. He even got first place. And then Kellyanne, does she also make it into
she shit the bed. Kellyanne lost, but I don't think it had anything to do with that.
Right, so Kellyanne shit the bed doing the puzzle, but she still was able to eventually finish it, and it didn't affect her being last because of the Tina situation, which we will get into. And Kellyanne even said, "Thank you, Tina," because I think Kellyanne would have been going in if it wasn't. So you're right, Pamela. In that way, it almost did pay off.
Right, that's what I was going to say. The Kellyanne one, well, she got 20 minutes on her own extra, so the one on top of
the 1 minute really didn't do anything, right? Because she was one of the first to finish.
Jordan, if Jordan was, because who was just behind him? If Jordan got a 2 minute, the person just behind him might have won. You know what I mean? Like it.
But still, Jordan was. But here's the thing about it. Now we have the other thing that we have that comes out of here. It doesn't matter if you get first place. You can get first, second, or third place and still get into what they're calling the authority. That's the other big thing here. And a lot of people online are talking about it. Hey, I wish it was just the top 2 that got to decide, or the top 4, not the top 6. We're getting the top 6 now. I like it, Pamela, and I'll tell you why. First of all, we get rid of this bullshit tribunal stuff that they did last season where they all have to state their case. This is why I don't want to be put in. No, you got 6 people in there, and I like it because the producers are great about this. They know it's going to stir up a lot of drama because all 6 people have people in their alliance. So you're having people want to save everybody and they can't. And it's fantastic. I love this. I love the authority.
Because it's like a vote, but it's not a public, it's a twist on the vote. It's still half the people almost, or you know what I mean? It's
people were saying, hey, you're saving too many people by having the top 6 or the top 3 guys and top 3 females not have to do anything. But I like it because it causes drama, and also the best people of the day. This is what Wes talked about on our show. If you let the top 3 of each day in, it's the best 6 people that perform that day. Therefore, they can never have to go into a elimination. Right. Therefore, when you run the final, like Wes said, and I think that he's saying a lot of these things because of how this season of All-Stars 3 worked, only the best of the best are going to get to the final. If you keep winning every week on the challenge, You will never have to see an elimination. However, we'll get into this later too, Pamela, the stars. When you win an elimination, you get that star. And what does that mean for you? Let me refresh you, Pamela. Tina won her first elimination. Now she has 2 stars on her underboob. She has them on. He said, Tony, oh my God. TJ said that the extra stars that you get on elimination are going to hold a lot of power, but I'll get to that later, he says. So we don't know what it's going to mean to have the stars. It's fantastic. I'm
Why
pumped.
does Tina have 2?
Well, she beat Cynthia in the first round. So now she has,
second.
you also have your own star. You have your own star. Now she has Cynthia's star, and then she beats Melinda in the second one. So she actually has 3 stars now.
Wow. Okay. So we'll talk about Tina because girl,
I know. Well, she's not even, we don't have to worry. So
okay. All right. So we learn.
So now we have Cyrus and Cynthia. They're guaranteed to go in. We know about the sabotage now. We know about the authority. The authority gets together, and Wes makes his whole thing where he's like, I think we should put the second place losers in because we should keep the best people. They deserve to be in it. We'll have a tougher final. The best people should go to the finals, what Wes is saying. And he talked about that on our show, and I just think that's fantastic because, like, watch our show. He says what he says on the show. He's great.
Very methodic. Wes is not disorganized mentally.
So now we get down to the arena, and they do go with what Wes wants to go with, which is the top. Tyler, he got the next worst place, and apparently Tina got the next worst place.
Okay.
So you have Cyrus versus Tyler, and you have Cynthia versus Tina in something called Crawl Brawl. And who is coming up with the games? Because they're so good.
This was great.
Well, they've never done something like this. I can't think of anything like this.
Yeah. It's innovative and simple, which is what I love. Like, it's a hard competition that's easy to follow and hard to do and interesting to watch. I mean,
isn't it so much better when these episodes are just 1 hour and not an hour and a half? I'm sorry, but the hour and a half is filled with so much garbage that I'm like, I'm not fully invested. Like, you know how Jenna always says, oh, by the way, Jenna's getting married this weekend. So that's why she's not here. She will be back. We're going to let her enjoy her week off, probably next week too, if she's going on a honeymoon, but she will be back joining us soon, and we can talk all about her wedding and whatnot.
And you can wish her a happy nuptials on her, whatever.
Exactly.
Instagram.
So anyways, yeah, like, why this is great. I don't understand why they can't come up with more great, so Jenna's always saying, like, she's always looking down and not paying attention. I was full focused on the episode is my point. That's what I was getting into.
This was very good. I don't need pyrotechnicians underwater flying things in caves with GoPros. Just give me a good competition.
Give me a good competition. Right. That's why we're watching it. So they're calling it
Hall Brawl is so popular. It's not because it's got pyrotechnicians and underwater shots.
But do you like how they reversed it this time and did Crawl Brawl? It's kind of fun.
It's great, but there's a reason why these things are great. They're a real test of the 2 people's strength. I mean, it's a good competition. So
I was like, oh my God, they have to dig through that thing too. I didn't see that coming. I thought they just had to crawl through. Then it's like, oh no, we put a total amount of dirt here that you guys have to somehow get through. I was like, oh damn, that makes it even harder and that much more just wear and tear on their body.
Yeah.
So,
and sand sucks. Like, I hate sand. I love the beach, but I fucking hate sand. Like, I always wish there was a way to walk from the water to my towel and de-sand.
I know. Stacy and I are such pool people. We love the pool. We don't like the beach as much. We'll go, but we prefer the pool 100%.
I love the beach, but again, being covered in sand, I do not enjoy.
When we were down in Cabo, we were at the pool that overlooked the ocean, and we never had to go down there. It was just like, boom, like they had the like you could just see right over the pool. The ocean's right there. It was like the best of both worlds, honestly.
And I'll take this moment to plug our Patreon. So we're going to be covering this show for everybody, but we're going to be covering.
Well, this show's good. This show's going to be strictly on YouTube.
Right. We're going to be covering Real World and X on the Beach, a little hodgepodge of both.
Every week
on our Patreon. And Jenna's getting married this weekend. I am a newlywed. Dan's engaged. Join our Patreon. We could use the $1
we need money.
We need. We are in all stages of nuptials, engaged, just married and newly married. So we
Yeah.
need pizza dishes and shit. What do you call them? Pizza stones. The things that you register for. So
Pizza
pizza
stones.
stones. I never got one on my
Well, that's what you're going to save up for with all this Patreon dollar bills
exactly.
flying
So
through.
if
But yeah,
everyone
so
can
if
give
you
us
want to
a
check
dollar,
out our
one of
Patreon is patreon.com/the challenge after show. And we're covering X on the Beach and Real World Homecoming. By the way, Real World Homecoming, another one of those must watches. If you're not on Paramount Plus already watching that thing, get on it, because you must be on it, because All Stars 3 is already there. So get on Paramount Plus, watch both of those things, and you're going to want to check out the after show for that for
and
sure.
to our Patreons who are current, we don't say it enough, but we appreciate it so much. We love you. One day we will make sure to actually give shout outs and stuff.
Well, and then if they comment more, I when they comment on our Patreon, I definitely give shout outs for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Comment away, subscribe and comment.
So back to the show here. Okay. Cyrus mops the floor with Tyler, and I thought Tina mopped the floor with Cynthia. I thought it was pretty, they tried to make it look close. Even the edits couldn't make it look close. I knew the whole time that Cyrus and Tina were mopping the floor.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they both got the extra star, and TJ's like, all right, now you'll notice they have 2 stars on their shirt, not just 1. This is going to hold a lot of power, but we're not going to tell you about it yet. I had a thought, Pamela, to end this episode. Are people going to want to go into elimination more now, or are they going to wait to find out what those stars are actually worth, or are they going to regret not going in more because of how much they're worth?
I don't know. We don't know, because I don't know. I don't even really have a guess.
But do you think they're going to want to go? Do you think people are going to strategically try to get into eliminations now to get that extra star, or are they going to wait until they find out what the stars are worth?
I think it's too soon to be jumping into elimination.
Okay, fair enough.
Go home right now. Until it becomes clear.
I just hope, Pamela, the payoffs are huge for it, because if people are trying to avoid eliminations and at the end they get screwed over because they never went into one, I want that to be a real something that actually affects the outcome of the game. But that's just me hoping for big time drama.
But then that would mean people are penalized for always being top performers unless they mix something up. So that doesn't seem fair. I think
that is true.
Yeah. That doesn't seem fair to me.
Because you're not allowed to, if you finish in the top 3, you're not allowed to not be in the top 3. You're not allowed to go into elimination yet. Maybe they'll change something up later.
So
you're safe.
Yeah. So I think maybe it will, amongst the star holders, hold power at the end. I don't know. I really don't know, but I hope it isn't something like, well, if you have no stars though, you can't, because that means you've been.
All right. Well, let me throw this at you. Here's my idea for the star. Okay. Let's say Tina gets thrown in again. And I brought this up with the skulls back in the day, but it never came to fruition, what I wanted to happen. Because I remember at the time, the guy that we liked from Jay had gotten a bunch. And I had told you, I said, well, if Jay loses one, technically you should only take 1 skull away and he should still be in the game, correct?
Exactly. Because that was where you had to have skulls. So it's like, great, well, Jay has 4 and some people have none. He should
be able to survive a couple of them and stay on.
That should have symbolized a life, because you needed one to play in the, but it didn't in this. In this, I don't know that it's symbolizing a life.
I'm hoping it does, is my point.
Okay. I do and I don't, because someone like Tina with this, where you absolutely boned up the last thing, you should absolutely be the person to go in episode 2 when she did. So
yeah, well, she did go in. That's fine. But she came back.
Because remember last season, you were able to, when you won an elimination, to use that win to remove a.
Okay, let me ask you this then. Can they use the star to save somebody else at some point in the game?
Perhaps.
Maybe something like that is with the stars.
Or the person with the most
stars. This is good though. This will
automatically make a final. Maybe the person, like if a Jay who had
if you get 4, you have to get 4 though. I don't know.
If you've been in 6 elimination and you've won every time, and you're going to go in the night before.
But you think, but Pamela, before the season, do you really think producers are like, okay, we'll wait till they all get 6 in there and then we'll let them in? That's not why they did it.
No, I'm not saying it's a number, but I'm saying that at the time when it's like, okay, we've got, 1 extra group more than will go in the final, say 4. So 4 teams are going in, they've got the top 3. They might say the girl and the guy with the most stars are going to join the final now too.
Okay. So they didn't get into they didn't make it to the final. They got eliminated. They got eliminated earlier in the
They
season, but
won
they
so
ended with
many
3.
eliminations in the eliminations. They get a ticket to the final.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're
I
gonna do.
don't know. I'm just guessing.
Let's stir the pot. Let's stir the pot, Pamela. In the comment section below, tell us what you think the stars mean. No spoilers if you already know, because we don't know what's going to happen. And we're just literally, we hate spoilers. But seriously, what do you think the stars mean? What do they do? And also, do you like the sabotage? Or do you like last year where they had doing like a tribunal thing, which I don't want the tribunal anymore. I like the sabotage.
No, screw the
or I
tribunal.
like the authority better.
I either like a public vote. I don't mind that, which they did last season on All Stars. The vote, I vote, my vote's.
Well, that was like the tribunal thing I was thinking of, kind of.
But not where it's like, tell me why you shouldn't go in. Like
I hate that. Oh God, state your case for me. They're doing that on the challenge too much. Like, let's go to the courtroom and you state your case on.
Exactly.
Get out of here. It's not working.
Exactly. This at least, I think I'm imagining that they would take it down from 6 as we lower our numbers. But right now,
maybe it'll only be top 2, right? It'll be top 2 males, top 2 females. I like that, Pamela. I think that's a great thing you thought of there. I think that could be happening.
Everybody has their, I don't want to see this one in. I don't want to see that one. It's a great drama because we had to see, Veronica said, I don't want to see Tina in, but it's like enough to like, how many people can you protect?
Well, Tina has performed awful in both the challenges so far.
Yeah.
But we know that she's someone, you're not going to just beat her in an elimination. She's going to put up a fight. And I'm very disappointed to see what happened with Melinda, but we'll get into that. So let's start off episode 2 here. Okay. You get a couple of things to start off. You get Mark talking to his mom who's battling cancer. And then you get Melinda talking about her ankle. Boom, the producers just set up who is going into the elimination of the day. We don't know it yet, but I right away was like, okay, wow, Mark's going in? That seems weird. I was like, oh, Melinda, maybe. But like, boom, right away, they give away who's going down there. I hope that it doesn't hold true the rest of the season, but it's pretty obvious what they just did there.
I liked that because the Mark thing I thought was very sweet because it was a good humanizing thing. He's kind of coming off like a dick in these shows.
Well, they definitely showed another side to him, and that helps you root for him when he's in that elimination later in the episode for sure.
But also, as we'll remember from last season,
he wasn't on last season.
No, but from last season, they had a sweet guy, and I'm forgetting his name, who I didn't know very well, but whose sister had passed away, and it was awful. And you think it's going to be a redemption, and then he's going to stay, but then he lost. So
Derek.
So I was like, this is a sad. I hope they're not doing that with Mark, who we love. Like, shit.
Yeah.
So I did think that, and I was like, they're obviously setting up something here. It will be pretty sad if it's like, and now I lost, because I couldn't believe he lost. I thought surely with Derek, it was going to be victorious because it was so sad.
Well, I think for more of that, they wanted to just bring up, because I don't want to speak out of turn here. Didn't she commit suicide?
Yes.
Okay, so I think they wanted to bring awareness to suicide, and then they obviously put their thing at the end, like if you're having difficulty or you're depressed, call our number and we'll help or whatever.
But
I think they wanted to bring
was a personal thing where it's like, I'd give this money for. I think he, playing
understandably, anyway, right?
But so this, I knew he was going to be involved somehow in the final, but I didn't know if he would win or lose. So at least they didn't spoil it like that.
Right. He's still obviously in the game. Let's move along here to the challenge. It's called Out of Reach. They got to kick a box that drops down their key, which looked like a ball to me. They go up onto land. They solve a puzzle. Simple. I love over water stuff. You're on a swing. I'm sorry. I would be so good at this.
I don't understand why. That's where I'm like, I don't get it. It's where there's any struggle. Again, you and I have both manied and nannied and
sure. I'm old. I mean, I haven't
a lot. Like
even when I if it's been 3 years since I've been on a swing, I get right back on that. You don't forget how to pump. I pump and get so high. I'm like, and even from a dead stop, I can do it from a dead stop like they were. Or that's not even true. They got launched down.
I don't understand.
So I can do it from a dead stop.
I don't get it. I don't get it either. I'm not athletic. I'm not whatever, but I can swing and touch a leaf with my toes. Like look, I'm a good swinger. I don't understand how one
It
would
wasn't
not
your
be.
traditional swing. It looked like the seat was a little uncomfortable, whatever. I could say it doesn't matter. It's like riding a bike. I can ride any kind of bike. I'm going to be able to just ride the bike. I
Well,
don't know.
Darrell was like, my arm, my hands are. It's like,
Because I think it's like, it's not a traditional like metal. It was like he said he was digging into his hands. However, he never showed how badly his hands are ripped up. I'm not sure. And if you grab with, instead of the palm, if you grab with this part of your hand differently, then you could have gotten a break and tried, you didn't have to grab.
I'm like, I trust that these people have better skills athletically than me. So I'm not going to knock them. But I was like, I don't understand how.
Well, every week you're going to see like what they're doing, and I hope that they keep doing this, is they're testing a different skill every week. Like last week, it was a puzzle. So Sylvia, who I don't think is very good athletically, she's good at puzzles, whatever. She solved it. She did a great job getting the puzzle done quickly. Great. But you'll see in this episode, she doesn't do so hot. So it's like, it's just gonna, even Wes, who won last week, Wes struggled on this swinging thing, but then he gets up there and he solves the puzzle in 2 seconds. But it's like, well, dude, Wes, what the hell happened with the swing part?
But then you've got your consistence, like
right.
Jordan and Yes
are kicking ass,
who are winning no matter what the skill.
And that's why I put them in my top 2 along, right. And I had Wes in there as well for my top 3 on the guy side, and we'll get into that at the end of the episode.
Big potatoes rise to the top, though. That's a method, when they used to drive potatoes around, the big ones would shake their way up to the top. I'm not sure why. You'd think they'd weigh more, but
they're pushing through shit.
They're pushing through shit, but yes, and the cream flow, whatever, those
cream rises to the top.
Rises to the top. That's the analogy. Like when you're really good at everything, it winds up that you consistently win, like Jordan. So I don't understand Tina.
We can get into that. I don't know what happened. I didn't rewatch that part. I rewatched other parts, but clearly when they let her go, or she let herself, I think you let yourself go. She obviously lost balance and went forward. But I know,
but again, I am not strong or athletic. I am top heavy. And I was like, I would be able to scoop my butt. Maybe it's different in the air if you don't have.
I don't know. She was really far forward, Pamela. She was really far forward. I thought that she was actually going to like dislocate her shoulders at one point.
You're saying she was like sitting by the butt and couldn't. I just feel like that.
It was all the way. Her butt was like going like the other, like, here's your butt. Here's her butt.
Your body
it was this way. It was like almost down.
But I feel like if you got a swing going on, you could then kick your body weight. Again, like, I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I would think that you, but yeah, anyways, whatever.
I was imagining if you just sway a little and get enough movement to push your body weight back on the.
Yeah, I thought she got herself way too into an awkward position, and like she held on for a long time. She was swinging back and forth awkwardly for a while.
Again, I was like, I don't know. Who knows? We're watching from home, but I was like, I feel like even with that awkwardness with swinging, you're in the air, you're basically weightless. You could, if you get a good swing going, I don't know. Again, you must be right. Obviously, she didn't do it, but it was very weird.
Yeah, she was the only one that it happened to, so that also made it worse on her end. I mean, she said it was embarrassing. Yeah, that's all. I mean, they sabotaged. So yeah, we brought all this up earlier. Kellyanne got sabotaged. She freaked out during the puzzle. Sabotaged. That was fine. And then obviously Wes sabotaged Jordan, which didn't affect Jordan at all. In fact, Jordan still got first place for his heat.
Yes. But I do wonder if he would have beat if there was like more than a minute difference, because Jordan won for his heat, but Yes won.
Yes won. Oh yeah. So Yes won overall. So that did stop Jordan from being able to sabotage next round. However, it seems like Yes hates Wes just as much. So I guarantee you that Yes is sabotaging Wes in this what looks like to be some type of mud challenge next week. I guarantee Wes is getting sabotaged for sure. Yeah. So you got Yes got first, Jordan got second, and Brad, who they don't even mention until right now, he gets this is his first mention of the entire season, is after they don't even show him win, like briefly. And then for the girls, Kendall got first, John A, sorry, I can't read my own handwriting. John A got second, and Kayla got third.
Yeah, so Brad and Kayla came in the male and female third. Number two pair was Jordan and Jeanette. Yeah, you just said it. And yes, and Kendall were number one. Yep.
Yep. So
Yep.
Kendall gets one a sabotage for the next challenge as well. So we'll see what she decides to do. Then we get into like a party scene,
Yes.
and that's where that's right before Wes, or right after Wes kisses Jordan's hand. Did you notice all the Greeking that they had to do on all the bottles?
Oh,
Do you know what Greek? You know what Greeking is?
Like
Greeking, for all you at home, they're not involved in the movie industry. It's where you have to cover up all the labels so you don't know what they're drinking. I thought I saw maybe some Modelo in there. I'm not sure, but yeah, go on.
I just love my favorite moment of this. First of all, it's nice. Like, I don't think we've been able to see them go actually out in like 3 years.
Right. They went to what they called the igloo or whatever they were called.
Right. They like the dumbest fake club in the world.
Yeah.
Oh God. But this was awesome to see them out, and then Wes just had some amazing like office like to camera faces.
Oh, so good.
Like, breaking the fourth wall, but in the most appropriate way. He's like, you know.
So he broke that wall. We'll bring it up right now. He broke that wall when Tina says that she does not want to go against Veronica or Melinda, and says that to who did she say?
Oh, John A. John A. Because John A. is like, that's cool, but like, I'm not playing your like.
Yeah. So it's just John A. gets really upset, but John A. asked her who she wants to go against, and what Tina does is she switches it up. Says, well, I'll tell you who I don't want to go against, but that's not the answer John A. wanted. So it's a whole thing.
Right. And also, sorry, what I like so much to again compare to the current challenge or whatever we want to call it is like, an OG knows that saying who you want to get is not some handshake guarantee blood oath.
Yeah, so they don't even bother. Like, Cynthia did the same thing in the first round. Cynthia's like, whatever. Put me in whoever you want. I'm not going to do that.
That was the whole reason that woman thought Tori was a liar.
Because what was her name? We'll never see her on the show again anyways.
I don't know.
Starts with a T, right?
I think it's I don't want to say
Taka.
it.
Taka?
No.
Something like that, though.
I know. Tatcha started this whole campaign. She's a liar. You're a backstabbing liar, whatever I said. And she's like, what? Like, I just asked you and said, I'll do what I can.
I'll do what I can. Right. I'll do what I can. No guarantees. This is why, and like, we have to talk about that on the after show. Like, come on. Yeah. Tatcha, look what you're making me talk about right now.
It's amateur hour. That's amateur hour.
Right.
No one ever said that is not some blood oath sworn. That is, who do you want? I'll take it into consideration and bring it and see if it gels for my game.
It's just what makes me like nervous about loving All Stars 3 so much is like, I think my type of reality star is one that became famous before social media. Absolutely. And I don't think we're ever going to see this type of stuff again unless you keep bringing OGs back to stuff, because you're never going to get another West type who's been in this world so long that one look at the camera makes my night. Like, how sad is that?
No, because we love them and we know them. However, I will say, and we can save this conversation maybe for our Patreon, but the circle, at least they're unknowns. They're real, just people.
Okay.
Security.
Yeah.
So
but I don't like that I don't like that format though. I can't get into that format.
Right. The show is kind of stupid, and they don't interact with each other, but they are real people. So that's
did you watch the new Real World they did on Netflix that wasn't called that? It was called like Young
I
and
did not. The 20s were in 20s.
Oh yeah, 20 somethings or something.
Yes.
Pamela, I told you and Jenna to watch that. It is so damn good.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I hyped it up on our Patreon. I gave it as a pick of the week one week on our Patreon.
Yeah, no, I haven't gotten round to it, but whatever. Okay, so let's go on with this because then we.
Okay, so Latyrian and Tina, they are going straight into elimination. We get to the authority. Brad says he wants to save Wes. I'm loving that. Kayla says she doesn't want to save Wes. I'm not loving that. So there's a whole thing there. I wrote this down. It's all about alliances, because if you're in the authority and if you're not in the authority and you have an alliance with someone in the authority, there's a good chance you're safe. That's what it comes down to. And what happened with Mark and Well, Mark, especially, apparently he doesn't have that much of an alliance like he thought. I don't know.
How did Wes not get voted? It seemed like they were all like, yes, let's pick Wes. How did it?
Because then he said, because they, someone brought up that, well, oh no, Kayla brought up that Wes has Melinda and Nehemiah on his team. So we need to split up that alliance of 3 people, all from Real World Austin.
So I thought that was a vote for Wes. Yes. Then Jordan's a vote for Wes, and Yes is a vote for Wes. So who didn't vote for
So
Wes?
there was a little talk on social media about how did Wes not get voted in if we have all these people? Because then it's like, because then they said, well, you can vote in Nehemiah. And then someone else said, well, I'd like to, it was Yes that said, I'd like to switch Nehemiah for Wes. I don't want to save Nehemiah. But then I think it was some type of weird compromise that we didn't get to see, which kind of sucks. I wish they showed it, where they said, all right, well, we'll put in Melinda from their alliance on the girls' side.
Yeah, because I missed that.
It somehow happened like that, where they saved Wes. And they said, also, I'll throw a conspiracy out there that's probably not real, but I love my conspiracies. You think producers, what's that?
We can't let Wes go home now.
Thank you. Producers, we can't let Wes go home. I know y'all hate him. Can we all hate him in 2 more episodes? Because you're still going to hate him in 2 more episodes. We need to get him at least 3 episodes in. And I've seen some previews with Wes in the mud, and I saw him basically naked in the house wearing underwear. But besides that, I haven't seen much more of him. I saw him say that he didn't want to talk to the camera anymore. So if they show all that next episode, then he is done next episode. But I don't know yet. We'll have to see.
I mean, I hope not, because honestly,
I hope not too. I want him to go really far. But he's been very cocky on social media talking recently, Pamela, saying that, he's in a house with people that don't know how to strategize. He's the only one that knows what he's doing.
But that's Wes's game. So
okay, so maybe he's just hyping it up. But I don't think I want to say he doesn't go home early because of the way
I don't know. I mean, I want that to happen, but surprisingly, remember when Bananas went home on episode 2 of something and we thought, no, how could that happen?
And same, Wes has gone home early in seasons as well. So we've seen it happen to both of them.
But Wes is certainly, they are literally even Jordan, I think, can be bad because he's angry. And sometimes, but I feel like Wes and Wes are diametrically opposed.
They are really pushing that storyline. So I have to assume that Wes makes it a little further than episode 3 or 4. He has to get a little further. And they are showing Wes just running on the treadmill like a freaking robot. I'm not talking to any of you. This is why I'm here. I need $500,000. I want $500,000, whatever it is. He's not here to just be your friend. He's saying, and him joking around with the girls in the first episode, trying to give them advice on who to throw in for her to sabotage, for who Sylvia should sabotage. He's just so funny, man. He's such great TV. And I mean, look.
Wes is great. He does great.
He's great. He's great at being, I don't know if, I'm not sure Wes and I would be friends in real life. I'd obviously try to be friends with Wes. I'm not sure he'd want to be my friend, but he's my favorite person to watch on reality TV. I just think he's so good at it.
It was also cute, Wes, Melinda, because Nehemiah not coming in nearly as hot and crazy as he did last season.
Because he got Wes now.
It's that was too over the top. Now I'm I like Nehemiah.
Because Nehemiah was trying to be a villain or trying to be a top guy. He doesn't have to be that anymore. There's too many bigger people there now, like Wes and Jordan, and even Darrell was there last season, and so was Brad, so I can't put them in there. But
Mark,
you have
Derek, Darrell, yes. I mean, they're all.
But in that way, Derek was there last season, and Nehemiah went at him hard. Brad was there last season, though. I'm talking about the new guys, Jordan and Wes were not there last season.
Well, MJ, who won last season, MJ and John A. also love seeing perform well. Sorry, we didn't say that. Both of them did really well in there.
I've got a huge complaint coming out about John A. in a second. I can't wait for you to hear it. It's coming up for the elimination.
Okay, bring it.
That's a great teaser. Don't stop listening now, because when you hear what I have to say about John A., it's going to get people commenting in that comment section for sure.
Don't threaten me with a good conspiracy.
That's right. So, all right. Everyone wants to save someone. Great job by the producers. I wrote that down for the drama stuff. Let's move on to, it's called Lights Out. And in this elimination, it reminded me of the elimination that Brad went against CT, where CT didn't unhook the carabiner properly in the duel 2, and then Brad got to win it, but they had to push the sticky thing. This one, they're attached to it on the back, and they have to get to the same type of area though. And instead of ripping off a carabiner, all I have to do is press a button. Very smart move by the producers.
Yep.
They stepped it up. It's much better. The action of hitting a button versus like trying to awkwardly undo a carabiner is such a better look for the show.
Button slap.
Hit as the girl in Rush Hour said to the bad guy at the end, push the button.
Push the button.
I don't know if you remember that movie, but
those things are satisfying when someone or pushes a button.
Push a button already. Let's do this.
So your John A, I'm excited to hear what your John A conspiracy is.
Okay, so Tina, here's the curious. So everyone had to listen for a whole 2 minutes more to get this conspiracy. They go down there, and Tina is down there with Melinda, and this is where the whole ankle thing comes up.
Yes.
And Melinda's like, "I'm not performing tonight, TJ. You're fine. The final you came up with last year was too hard on me, and I didn't give myself enough time to recover. Whatever, that's fine. I don't care." But then TJ gives us what could have been the coolest thing ever. Tina, it's your lucky day. We still need to have an elimination. Pick anybody up there that you want. And then John A says the line, "That's not fair." And in my head, I said, I'm sorry, John A, but this game isn't fair. Banana's famous line is talking about how this game isn't fair. And oh, by the way, John A, here's it right now. I didn't think it was fair when they gifted you the final last year, when I'm sorry, but I don't think that you deserve to win because they let you go from round 1 to round 2 and then somehow let you open up a safe unfairly and no one else got to. So boom, John A, get the hell out of here. I'm tired of people kissing your ass. There you go.
That's what you wanted to have happened.
Yeah. Well, that's going to get a lot of people love John A, and I'm sorry, but
I love John A, and I feel like, again, as Wes said, boy, see, Wes packs a punch, as we discussed in our interview with Wes, which if you haven't seen, go visit our interview with Wes.
Yeah.
Really good interview. But he is talking a lot about how it is all fair and it's nonsense to talk about what's fair and it happens and it's so unfair it's fair. And I sort of agree. It's like, listen, you're signing up for a TV show, and though there's money on the line, first and foremost, you're on a TV show.
Right. So but that's my point, though.
You're not gambling privately. This is a television show, then a competition, then Well, that's why I didn't want, when John A said, "That's not fair." I'm like, no, that's great TV drama right there. And TJ should have gone through with it. But obviously the producers just wanted it to be a joke thing. But I was amped. I was like, she's going to put John A in there because the little fight they had in the bar. Yeah.
That's great.
I mean, but it wouldn't have been fair because the fight was Tina saying, "I don't want you to put these people in. And if you do, I'll take it as a fuck you." And it's like,
well, she's already taking it that way. She's already taking it that way.
But cool. And lucky break for Tina, so shut up. I mean, because
that is okay. Fair enough. It's better for Tina to not have to pick somebody, but at the same time, if she's forced to pick somebody, don't you want her picking someone that she has beef with? And we have a real thing, because I hate when
John A, because John A would beat her probably. So
in that one,
maybe
no way.
You have to have a ton of endurance.
You also have to have a lot more body weight. John A's not moving Tina.
No, but don't you you can wear her out? I don't know, but I think Tina would be safe and pick one of those tiny girls,
John A is tiny. Anyways, it's never happened. This is like a what if. It's like what if Wednesday over here, and we're doing what if this happened, which is something we could do for fun. What if Wednesday? What if this happened? The show does air on Wednesdays.
So Tina wins by default again against. Well, remember last season Melinda won by default because Tina quit.
Yes, so it was. I did it. I go, the old switcheroo, but
Melinda's medically, not able to do it. Tina just phoned out, which was lame, but anyway, happy to keep Tina another week. Sad to see Melinda go. I really like Melinda, and I like Melinda Nehemiah Wes friendship because it's like real. It's before Wes became a villain, and they got it.
I haven't. No one that's left yet. I've been sad to leave. I haven't been sad that they're leaving
I was
yet.
sad, but I'll live.
And we can get into that, our top people we want to stay and our top people we think will win. We'll do that at the end of this here. We do get one elimination though. We do get Mark versus Latyrian. Turns out to be a pretty good non-bloodbath, but like a bloodbath in a way, a hypothetical one where they are down there for an hour, just grinding it out. I don't know how this happens, But John A, I don't know if John A brings it up first, but then someone yells down to Latyrian, hey man, go in reverse. And then they put the slow-mo music on and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't care who wins. This is the best elimination ever.
Right.
I have a recency bias too, so mind you there. But I am freaking the fuck out because they're going in slow motion. They're just like they put this badass music behind him. Everyone's like, go, you can do it. And then Mark's falling away from the button and then boom, he still gets it.
Yeah.
Now that's an elimination.
Yep.
And the producers were like, holy shit. Now, I don't know if a producer whispered that idea in someone's ear up there, but I think that these people are smart enough to realize, hey, Latyrian, there is no rule saying that you just can't reverse the thing.
Right.
DJ never mentioned that. And that's one of those tricky little situations which makes the challenge so great because people can kind of fudge the rules a little bit. And when it was a fudgery in that way, I really enjoyed it because it made that elimination so much more exciting.
Yes.
And I wonder if that elimination comes back up in the future, if someone will try that move again, maybe right off the bat to throw someone off. Who knows?
I mean, I'm sure they will. That's live and learn. If they're smart, they will. I mean,
and who knows if they'll have repeating eliminations, but like something like that, I'd love to see that one again. Mm-hmm. I don't need to see the crawl through the cage one again, but I'd love to see this one. This one was called Lights Out. I'd love to see Lights Out again. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good.
I loved it. And I really just love, Latyrian was like, oh, maybe I would become a single dad with this money, which was really sweet. So bummer that he's not going to win it, but that was a nice insight into Latyrian.
Yeah, I mean, I was happy to see either of them stay. I do like Latyrian, so that was fine. But yeah.
I want to see what I feel like. I want to see if Mark is really as great as the hype. If he can still play against now these you know younger bucks.
Let's be real, you got, and the dude's basically 50 years old. He doesn't look 50, by the way, but he is.
But I feel like CT can still take out 20-year-olds. So can this guy take out?
Yeah, but how old is CT? 43?
40 something. So
young 40.
Better than
that's 7 years. That makes a big difference.
No, but I'm saying, and these people are not 20; they're 35 to 40. So
yeah, no, you're right. I got you.
So I'm saying, if CT can take out 20-year-olds, can't a 50-year-old take out a 35-year-old?
Oh, I mean, I think Mark. I think Mark can compete with the best of them for sure. It just depends on what you get. I mean,
I don't know. That's why I want to see him around, because I don't think, like last season, Latyrian, one of his eliminations, he like lost basically because he couldn't see.
Yeah, the sand was pouring on his head.
Like that's where the age is. It's not that you're not fit. You can be as strong as an ox, but it's like.
Oh well, that's what I said. Every week, this show challenges a different part of your body, your mind, your physical peakness, your endurance, your strength. I mean, your memory, it's gonna push you to the limits. And that's why the challenge has always been such a great show. And these first 2 episodes were so goddamn fantastic. How about the opening song they all came into in the limo, by the way? Baby, I'm ready to go.
It's a fact,
baby. And they had like a slow motion of it at first. And then they did the fast version of it. And then Wes comes in and they totally changed like this like sinister evil music. That's fucking great.
Oh, so good. Yes, it's the little details that we love. It is. This show's great. It's such a delight to watch. It's so fun. And I am excited.
All right. So do you need me to go over every guy and every girl on the show so we can pick our top, who we think is going to finish? We'll do like top 3 for each side. And then we'll do who we don't like, who we like, but we don't know if we'll make it to the end. We just don't want to see them. We want to see people make it too far, but we don't think they'll win. Does that make sense? Who should we start with? The people we think will make it
far, but I don't think we'll win. I've got some answers. Would be like a Derek. Derek, Brad. I guess these people I think are in my middle that are great, but I don't think they're going to win.
Oh yeah. Who do you like, but you don't think will like make it to
and I think they're good and they'll make it far, but I don't know if I think they'll win. Is going to be Derek, Brad, Mark. Those would be my 3 for the top middle.
Yeah.
Like the top 3 picks would be, I'm just going to go Jordan, Yes, and Wes. And then MJ, I'm going to put then in that 3rd category. And then the ones that I don't think are going to win, because with this is steeper competition, is Nehemiah, Oh shit, where do I have Darrell?
I was gonna
don't
say, you
know.
haven't even talked about Darrell yet.
Darrell has to be in the top. Yeah,
Cyrus is probably not
Cyrus, I
making
think, is
it.
going to be on the lower end.
Tyler already went home. Latyrian went home.
Yeah.
I mean, you have such heavy hitters this year. It's kind of hard.
It's hard. Like if Brad is a middle and
I know. Brad's in the middle somewhere. Here's my thing about Wes, though, is I want to say he's in my final with Yes and Jordan. But the problem with Wes is everyone's going to gun for him every episode. He's going to have to win some eliminations. And if he doesn't
better, he only has to come in top 3. And
yes, but if he has a stinker like he did today, if he doesn't win the next mud one, he's going down there. Or he's going to go into elimination. He's got to make top 3 every week. Now, that's the great thing about this season. You make top 3 every week. You make it to a final, basically. They can't take that away from you yet.
I think... I don't understand why he didn't go in tonight. So if he didn't go in tonight, he's got more.
Well, luckily Brad was in there, and he said, Brad said, I'm friends with Wes outside the show.
That's the only one that wasn't like voting for Wes. So it obviously happened off camera, how it went from Wes.
Yeah, and I wish they showed it. Yeah, I wish they showed it, because that's why my conspiracy works. Yeah.
Yeah, if someone knows, let us know how it turned into Mark, because I was watching it going, all right, Wes is going to be in.
Fine. Yeah, it makes no sense because you have Jordan, Yes, and Kayla. That would at least have split the vote if John A., Kendall, and Brad went the other way. But do we think that Kendall and John A. really give a shit about Wes?
No, not at all.
Exactly.
That's why I feel like they totally would have voted him in. And it's like, he's put a target.
But weren't they allowed to say, here's the thing though, too. I think when they made that authority, they said, you get to save one person. Like, we will not put them in even if the votes go against that person. And I think Wes was that one person.
Brad. Okay, so he was his save.
He got one save, and they couldn't go against it, even though they really wanted to. They just said, all right, we'll let it slide this week.
That's the only thing that makes sense. So,
and let's be real. I think people like having Wes around just because of the drama. I mean, even the other cast members, man. Like, come on.
He's a lovable villain. I mean, he's not
that's why he's probably my favorite reality star of all time.
That's a bold statement.
Well, who else? I'm trying to think who else I'd even go with.
He's great because Bananas actually, I felt like a bad person. Like Wes, I don't ever feel like he's a bad person. Even when he's clearly being a jerk. Like Bananas, there's times where I'm like, you're a bad you're a dirtbag of a person.
Yeah, it's also because I follow Wes on social media, so I see the good things he does just in the community and things of that nature, and with the shows that he's trying to put out there for people. Like, I just don't see really him doing a lot of bad things.
No, with him versus Bananas, like just as they're both super entertaining, but when I don't like Bananas, I truly do not like him as a person.
Right.
I don't ever dislike Wes. I mean, I always love to hate. You love to hate anyone super entertaining. But even though Bananas is entertaining and I do love to hate him, he's a serious asshole. Whereas like the different villain things, like Fessy's the villain that I don't care about. I just want him gone. And Josh, it's like I don't love to hate him.
I know. We talk about it all the time.
Wes is great. You still love him. You root for him. You're rooting for him.
100%. And
I did not want Wes to go home. I don't want anyone to beat him. Whereas Bananas, I was like, yes, when Devin finally took him out.
Right. And wasn't that in a game called Lights Out or Light Bright or what the hell was that called? Light
Bright or something.
Because this was called Lights Out. So I'm like, I wonder if it was like the same damn name. But as far as Yes goes, not Wes, but Yes, I mean, so Yes appeared back in All of Our Lives in All-Star Season 1. And I said, and I don't know how many people watched our after show for that, but I said Yes is my
dark
underdog,
horse.
What I call my
dark horse.
My dark horse, whatever you want to call it.
Wild card.
My wild card is what I called it. And he made it to the finals and freaking won the damn thing. So I have to put him in my top 3 again because
Darrell.
He is not the strongest, but people underestimate how much endurance and heart he has. He beat Darrell in that final.
And Darrell,
he's really smart. Yes is really smart. Like he just is.
Yes is great. I agree. And Darrell though has made it to both those finals. Like Darrell is great.
I know.
And almost won or did win.
Okay, and you're right. So some would say, and I think we said this at the end of All-Star Season 2, Darrell is due to win All-Star Season 3. So there you go. There's another one. You can put him number 4 on your list if you want. I'll put him up to number 3 just because I think Wes is just going to get freaking sabotage the crap out of the next couple episodes, and he might not make
I
it
don't
through.
know. I honestly, right now, it's too soon for me to do this with
It is.
real knowledge, but there's a lot of great guys, put it that way.
Why
There's
do you think they released 2 episodes?
I don't know.
Why do you think they do you think they didn't think we'd be satisfied with just one? Or I don't understand why they did it.
Are they going to do it every week? That'd be cool.
Ooh, I don't think so. I think it'll just be one. I hope it's just one from here on out, so we'll have more things to talk about for our after show.
I think maybe, because this is my media theory, is that sometimes it's like, oh, that's out. And by the time you realize it's out, it might be the next week. So you get to watch 2. I don't know. You get a little more if you're delayed. And then by the time it's next week, you get 3. So you get really roped in.
I don't know. Before we go, we do need to talk females that we think are going to make it to the final and who we think is going to win. I think Kayla she's younger. She's probably the youngest girl out there. And I think that she's actually pretty tough. I'm going to put her on my list. I love Kellyanne. I think she's a tough cookie, but I think puzzles might get to her. And I'm not putting Veronica on there. I just don't. I think that she's gonna have some issues. Who do you like for a third, or do you like those two?
The girls are.
Kendall's due too. Kendall might be due. There you go.
Kendall, I don't think has the social game to win a final.
Yeah, I think she's gonna have some issues.
She's gonna have to win a lot to get there.
I know people are gonna say John A again. I think John A is gonna be done this time. I don't think John A is gonna do it again.
is my right now top. I think Kellyanne would be my top.
Yeah.
The other top tier competitors, I think, are Kendall.
Yeah, I think
Monet, you can't discount the social game. She's very likable, and she can do most things decently. So again, I don't think she's like a top ace, right. But I honestly, I don't know. I'm gonna have to hold off on the girls for a while.
Really? All right. Yeah, how about people you want to see? All right, how about this then? What females do you want to see make it to the final?
Veronica, for sure.
You want to see Veronica make it to the final? Okay.
Veronica, Kellyanne. I don't know beyond that.
Because yes, you're right. I want to see
those would be my
okay,
top.
Fine. You're right. So I want to see Veronica make it to the final. Don't think that she will. I want to see Tina make it to the final, especially though how hard she started off with the 3 stars, whatever the F that means. I want to see her make it to a final. And I'm not a huge Sylvia fan, but I feel like she's such an underdog though. And I know she performed great in one thing, but I don't even then I don't want to see her. And I don't really care. And then Jemmy, no, thank you. Jemmy, you can go home next week. Thank you so much for showing up. And then Naya, I still don't know if I like her or not.
So right, Naya.
I don't know if I care if Naya makes it. I don't know.
Yeah, I need to get to know Naya a little better.
How about Ronnie? We don't know anything about Ronnie.
I don't care about Ronnie.
We don't know anything about Ronnie. That's why.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
what if Ronnie comes out next week and starts saying, well, guys, if you really want to see how I do, make sure to check it out on the Challenge After Show. They know our show. They know this show really well. I'm like, I like Ronnie now.
I'd like Ronnie well enough. I don't know her. And of course we have our, these are all people we know really well. So obviously we have attachments above Ronnie.
Correct.
Ronnie might be a wonderful person. And if she survives this whole season, we might get to know it. But unfortunately, I think the social game is against her in that we don't know her.
For 100%. That's what happened to Cynthia. Well, Cynthia also got last place, but that didn't help. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm already counting Ronnie as like going in. I don't think she has a lot of ties to the house.
Yeah. Well, tell us in the comment section below who you want to see in the final, and also separately who you think will actually make it to that final. So there's 2 categories here: who you love and who you're like, I really want them to make it, and then over here, who's really going to make it.
Yeah. And
maybe they match up, maybe they don't.
Love Sylvia, but she also often proves me wrong. So we'll see what happens.
She had that one really good season with Joss, and besides when she was literally he was the guy was living room furniture. Besides that season where she helped the furniture move around each episode, that's it. She reorganized the furniture every episode, the furniture, aka Joss, because that's what Joss was on the show. He was furniture.
Gloves. And Melissa, there was one good elimination, I think, with Melissa and Sylvia that was like entertaining, and that's about as much as I can say about Sylvia.
I remember Sylvia getting to some like lubed up thing
Yeah,
against
that was with Melissa.
but that oh yeah, Melissa the blonde.
Yeah, and I think she won.
Sylvia won, yeah, I believe that
Sylvia
one.
won. So I mean, sometimes I was like, oh, Sylvia, okay, like I think she's better than I might give her credit for.
I can look up her record like in 2 seconds.
All right.
If you really want to see it before we go here.
All right, look it up.
All right, I got it here. I already have all these things up. I don't know Sylvia's last name. S-Y.
Just Sylvia Challenge, right?
Elsrode. Here we go. She, oh God, not very great. I don't think here. Where did she go? I just had it. Here we go. She went to one final in Final Reckoning. That was with Joss. She did 3 seasons. She had 3 daily wins. Oh my God, in Elimination, she went 5-1. That's huge though.
Yeah. All right.
And they show her, I don't know if that's a spoiler, but I won't give it away. It says what she did in All Stars, but it just says All Stars season 3. She had 1 daily win, but they could be keeping track every week on that because she had the daily win last.
So far, she's had 1.
So far, she's had the 1 daily win. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. This was absolutely fantastic. We had a great time talking of the 2 episodes. Comment in the comment section. This whole thing's up on the YouTube. Hashtag, what's our hashtag for this week? If you're still listening. Hashtag All Stars season 3 rock my socks.
No, let's get an easier hashtag.
AS3.
Yeah, AS3 RMS rock my socks. AS3 RMS.
Now it's all that rock my socks RMS. Rock my socks. And be sure to check us out on Patreon tomorrow. We're going to have the new X show up there, and we're going to have episode 4 of Homecoming up there. And that's at patreon.com/The Challenge Aftershow. It'll also be, just click the link in the comment section. It takes you right there.
Now. Yeah.
Yeah, if you click it, it's going to be there.
All right. Well, you guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We love you.
All right. See ya.
Bye.